Joining us now with more on that, Mick Mulvaney, who served in the Trump administration as OMB director and White House chief of staff, and is founder of Exegesis Capital, and Operation Hope founder and CEO John Hope Bryant. Welcome, gentlemen. Mick, you were not only a longstanding member of Congress, but also chief of staff. With what you've seen that we know right now and what the president said and what Speaker Pelosi is saying about how this is going to work, is it better than 50-50 that this actually happens? I don't understand how Washington works, but they want the reconciliation bill either before or at the same time, and it's much bigger and much more contentious. Is this going to come off?
And that sort of throws a curveball into the whole process. You and I think, texted earlier this week, and I was very optimistic about a bill passing once the Republicans sort of took the pay-fors off the table, so they weren't going to fight about how to pay for this. They're just going to spend the money. That's usually a formula for bills getting passed in Washington, D.C., so I would have been well above 50% yesterday until I saw the press conference. When the president comes out and says, I'm going to support this, but only if the other thing passes, that sort of takes the wind out of everybody's sails. And I don't understand why he did it. I do understand why he did it, because he's feeling pressure from his left wing to not cut a deal with the Republicans. So he's sort of trying to have it both ways and sort of thread this needle. So I went from 60% yesterday to 25 or 30 this morning, just because that interplay between this compromise bill and the Democrats get everything they want bill really muddies the waters.
John, I'm never really sure where you're going to come down on this. Do you wish they just do what's in this infrastructure bill and not tie it to the other, or are you behind the leverage that they're trying to exert to get the rest of it done, because they won't even consider doing it till Pelosi said she won't even bring it. Speaker Pelosi won't even bring it up unless that reconciliation is passed. Do you agree with that tack?
I think we're being tactical when these folks understand, like Dr. King, we need, and Ike, a Republican president, and Warren Buffett, that we need to be strategic. I think that, I want them all to be like Ike, which put the highway system in place, by the way, that we all benefit from today. I think it's going to happen because every one of these congressmen, every one of these senators, by the way, Joe, I love that photo, other than I'd love to have seen a little bit of color in it. But we haven't seen that bipartisan effect for probably 20 years behind a mic with the president. I love that. I want to see more of it. Ike, a Republican president, invested in infrastructure because these congressmen and senators all need roads and bridges, and I need my car to stop popping off in wheels to stop popping off in potholes. I think that a bill will get done, and I don't think they would have come out like this unless they knew they can get to the finish line. Every good marriage is made of constructive friction. This is Ike on the infrastructure. It's Dr. King saying the world is moving at jet-like speed, but we're moving at horse and buggy pace. He's talking about political inclusion, but we're talking about infrastructure and growth, because we're 13th in the world. And every one of these folks understand you cannot be the global economic leader with your 13th infrastructure in the world. And Warren Buffett understands you got to reinvest in your product. I think we'll get there. I'm not mad at how they're going about it. This is Washington, and it's more art than it is science, and Mick knows that. And I think we're going to get there is the answer to the question, and I don't think they would have come out unless they knew they were going to get to the finish line.
Hey, Mick, I've been warned so many times not to talk about the sausage, and making it, and it's just disgusting. And I think it is. I don't even know what it is half the time with sausage. But let's get down to the nitty gritty on how this reconciliation would work. I was reading an article about what Majority Leader Schumer had to do to get Joe Manchin, the West Virginia senator, on board for that beginning debate on the voting bill. He finally did get him because he offered him something. But Manchin at this point has a lot of things that supposedly are set in stone that may not jibe with what's going to be in this reconciliation. Do you expect the Democrats to hold the caucus together, because they need all 50 with Vice President Harris to do the reconciliation? Is that going to work?
Yeah, I'll try and stay out of the sausage making too much. Let's talk briefly about reconciliation. I think one of the reasons you're seeing the Democrats stay at the table so long with Republicans despite the pressure they're under from their left wing, is that this reconciliation plan B, let's do, if we don't get what we want through a bipartisan deal, we'll just go off and do infrastructure and everything else through reconciliation. I think they've started to realize a couple of weeks ago that's falling apart. A lot of folks miss the fact that during the COVID bill passage, a couple of infrastructure things didn't pass the review, what we call the bird bath. That's part of reconciliation. Essentially, it means that you couldn't reconcile, could use that special rule on those big infrastructure projects. And I think that, plus some other messaging from the parliamentarian, has sent the message to the Democrats that they can't reconcile everything that they want to, and that's why they're still at the table. So I don't think reconciliation is the silver bullet for them. They need some type of bipartisan 60-vote bill to get the nuts and bolts of true infrastructure. I do think they can go off and do their own thing on what they're calling human capital, free whatever. I think they can do that through reconciliation, but I don't think they can get the roads and bridges built through reconciliation. I think that's why you're seeing this sort of drag out on the bipartisan basis. Keep in mind, I don't think it's just Joe Manchin. I think Joe is taking one for the team for a lot of the moderates in the Senate. In a 50-50 split, every single Democrat has got that type of authority. So I think there's other moderate Senate Democrats who are happy to see him sort of take the bullets, but there's a lot of Democrats who probably are a little bit leery about that reconciliation package for everything in the whole world.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.